Hey, what's up guys? Haley and Marie. I am not like all the other content creators. I don't have like a cool space, so I am on my big comfy couch today. A lot of you guys follow me from TikTok, and you guys watch me do my Crazy Karen and Nightmare Natalie spiels. So with Crazy Karen, naturally, when I get bored, I dive into Crazy Karens of Reddit. And I felt like some of them are hilarious and I want to share them with you. So naturally, I am wearing Alex's sweatshirt because I feel like if any of my characters deserve to kind of be represented in my video today, it should definitely be Alex reading these, because some of these do definitely have some instant karma, and I think they are hilarious. So I am here to share them with you guys today. So first one I've got, it is from the subreddit, People of Reddit, what was your worst Karen encounter? And this guy says, I used to work for a girl, or whoever this is. This poster says, I used to work retail and had a customer wish death on me on Christmas Eve over a poorly folded shirt. Somebody commented, said, are you allowed to smile and say thanks, you too, or would you have gotten fired for that? Original poster said, definitely would have been fired, but you're not far from what they did say, or what I did say. My response to her, I hope you die tonight, was, thanks, me too, and I almost got fired for that. If that's not the most Gen Z potential millennial response ever, I don't know what is. And why you would have almost gotten fired over that is beyond me, because you're already working Christmas Eve and then you had somebody wish death on you. No, that is not cool. You handled it better than I would have, to say the least. Alright, going on to the next one. Under the same Reddit, guy says, I was behind this Karen in a line at a Quiznos that she ordered a turkey sandwich and told them to put more turkey on it because the amount that they put on it wasn't enough. Then, when she got to the checkout, they charged her extra for the extra turkey. She went ballistic. She demanded she not be charged extra because she didn't say she wanted extra. She said they didn't put enough on, even though it's a pre-measured amount. So they put the same amount on every sandwich. She held up the entire line for 10 minutes in the middle of lunch rush as she screamed at every employee in the store. And then when her temper tantrum finally paid off, they didn't charge her $2. She stormed off in her late model Mercedes. Not to offend anybody, but late model Mercedes people, I relate them to BMW drivers. And if you are on the internet enough, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and I'm going to leave it at that. The other thing that bothers me about this, and something, because I used to be a manager myself, I cannot stand letting Karens get their way. She asked for extra because you guys didn't give her enough, and rather than charging her because she added extra meat to it, you gave it to her. I would have just ate the sandwich in front of her or something. I totally would have gotten fired for it, but I would not have given her what she wanted. I mean, that's Karens and everybody that throws temper tantrums thinks that if they just keep throwing temper tantrums, they're going to get what they want. And that is a very big issue. And the way that you stop it is by stop giving them what they want. And that's coming from me, and that's coming from Alex. Anyway, going on to the next one. So this one is under, what is it about the suburbs that makes people this way? I just thought this was hilarious. Suspicious behavior. I saw my next door neighbor drive up to their house, open the garage door from inside their vehicle, and drive in, and the door closed behind them. Oh my gosh. That's scary, right? It was last night around 5:30 p.m. Did anyone else see this? Typically they park in the driveway, but last night they parked in their garage. I have already made a report, but want to keep others on the lookout for this type of behavior. It makes me nervous for this to keep happening in my neighborhood. For your neighbor parking in their own garage on their property, that makes you nervous? Maybe we just need to mind our business. That's just a thought, but you never know. I'm just over here thinking about things. All right, next we have managers of Reddit. What is a Karen experience like? What is your worst Karen experience? Gary Carroll says, bestest of the best interactions I've had. Karen griped about not wanting to pay the price for the services performed on her computer, which was exactly the price that was quoted to her when she dropped it off and she signed for it. She demanded she speak to the service manager. I call him from the back. Service manager listened to her spiel as to how she wanted to get a lower price because irrelevant pea-brained reason. Service manager made eye contact with me over her shoulder. I didn't react. He said no. Price quoted was the price that she was going to be charged. She said that that was unacceptable and that she was going to be complaining to the owner, who was a good friend of hers. Service manager observed that he was evidently not that good a friend. She said that he was the person she was originally speaking with when she came and asked for the service manager. Her face was glorious and made the whole thing worthwhile. Honestly, if I owned a business and I had a manager and I was the owner, I probably would do the same thing, just to see the face of the person. I mean, and the other thing about that too is if you have a friend that owns a business, support their business. Don't ask for discounts. That drives me crazy too. Like, I am always like a big believer, like if any of my friends, family, what have you, start a business, I want to support you any way that I can, not take money. And yeah, that's just, again, personal opinion over here. All right, going on to the next thing. I had to throw a meme in here because I love memes. Karen threatening to get people fired. Security cameras. I love security cameras, and they may not all have audio, and that's okay. Body language speaks volumes. And I love when you mention to Karens that there are cameras, because they do one of two things. They either act like they don't care and they're going to keep doing what they're doing, or their whole tone changes and they end up leaving, or, you know, realizing that they're in the wrong and that they can potentially get caught in their lies. So yeah. Next one. So this is on my favorites subreddit that I have found, is FU Karen, and it says, Karen wanted to try on my hair color. I used to work at a natural food store and have been using a hair dye purchased from there for years. It's close enough to a natural hair color that if people are surprised when I tell them it's colored, and I buy it from there. Good advertising for the stores. But one lady took it way too far one day. In the center of the body care section, there are mirrors so that you can try on makeup and see what it looks like. This is important in a minute. On the next aisle over, a woman approached me asking if she could get her hair the same color as mine. I told her yes. Her natural tone was similar to mine, and I showed her the exact box I used. She took one glance at the box, then in one swift movement, looked back at me, grabbed me by my hair, her ponytail, and dragged her over to the next aisle where the mirrors were. I was too shocked to do anything besides follow her pull, and once we got to the front of the mirrors, she gave one more hard yank to crank my head around. She then flopped my ponytail over her head and started kind of styling it around her face. I was sweating and almost had a panic attack at this point. I would have clocked the woman out of natural response, but that's just me. She finally said, then casually dropped her grip off of my hair. I'll think about it. Then just walked away. It was extra disturbing because she didn't once look at me in the eyes after grabbing me. She treated me like I was a mannequin. Needless to say, I felt super gross about the whole interaction and had a sore neck for my troubles as well. Literally, I think out of natural reaction, if somebody came up and grabbed my ponytail or my hair in general, I would turn around and clock somebody. Because it's rude, especially for somebody you don't know. And two, I don't know, why? Why would you do that? You know, it's just entitlement, yeah, I guess, okay. All right, last one, coming from the same Reddit, the FU Karen, Costco Karen. Love me some Costco, man. This one is straight out of Central Casting. I took a few quick pictures, but I didn't want to get didn't have the guts to record. If she caught me recording, I pictured one of those boot heels connecting with my skull. Anyway, she was in the pharmacy line ahead of me. This is in Portland, Oregon. Don't know if the location matters. And when when it was her turn, she approached the clerk and opened with, "I don't have a prescription to pick up. I just wanted to pay for my vitamins, so I don't have to stand in line for those long lines." The clerk politely explained that the pharmacy is for those picking up their prescriptions, not for other items. She basically ignored him and repeated she didn't have time to stand in a long line. The clerk said, "Okay, I will bring up these items, but next time, please go to the regular checkout lines." This irritated the hell out of me, not the polite clerk, the fact that Karen got her way. Again, just talked about that. Then the tide turned when the credit card was denied. It was a mighty struggle not to laugh out loud, but again, the boots. She then yelled at the clerk, "This card has $8,000 available. I'm calling the credit people." She actually said people. Rather than stepping out of the line to make her call, she whipped out her giant Samsung right there. Finally, the clerk told her that she's holding up the line and she needs to step aside. "This is a bunch of BS," she replied. I was hoping for a full-blown security guard drag-away scene, but she actually retreated and moved over so she could make her call. The clerk had to avoid all of her crap, and I got my meds. In closing, that was at 4 p.m. on a Wednesday afternoon. The place was half empty, and the wait times for the checkouts were minimal. Yes, her antics took 5 minutes of my life, but it was worth it. I mean, for somebody to be super rude and then see their cards get denied is instant karma. And I feel like some Karens deserve that karma. Especially, again, getting her way because the worker probably just doesn't want to get yelled at, which I get that too. Nobody likes getting yelled at. But it's even worse when they get yelled at and then they have to give them their way. And to be honest, like one thing that I do, I don't know if Costco does this, but Sam's does it, and I love it, where you can just go in and scan your items, and then you can pay for it on your phone, and then just leave. Best thing ever. It is easy, convenient, and I am in and out with my grocery list, and I'm done. Back to the Karens, though. I found these really funny, and I wanted to share them because I thought they were awesome. And a lot of people like wonder where I get my inspirations for like my characters. And yes, some of my characteristics are based on personal encounters and even people that I know personally. But I also love going and diving into the subreddits and especially the FU Karens, because there's always new stuff coming up. And it's just crazy, the entitlement that people have. But yeah, I wanted to share them with you guys, and I'm gonna have more next week. I think I'm gonna make this a regular thing. I wanna hear stories from you guys if you have Karen stories. I would love to hear your Karen stories because they're hilarious. And yeah, I will be back next week. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll talk to you guys later.